Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Joshua Chris podcast. Today, I am here with a mobile developer. He's going to be talking to us about lots of beautiful things. I've got prepared some wonderful questions. I'm going to be, throwing those questions at Sunday. And yeah, we're going to have a bit of a time today to go and cover lots of beautiful things. Sunday, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. And you?
Awesome. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was excited about this, throughout the day. Well, did some work today, and but on my way to work, I was listening to um something about mobile development, sort of like a mobile development conference, by some amazing, engineer, on YouTube. And, it was
Okay.
just beautiful. And when I looked at your profile, I saw mobile, like the tagline. That was quite
Yeah.
interesting, like if you go to your LinkedIn profile, you're gonna see software developer, you're gonna see mobile, you're gonna see mobile. I was like, you had to stretch that. Do you know what I mean? Like you are really excited about mobile development. Is that right?
Yes, I am. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's great, man. That's great. So and then I went further down, you know, I was thinking probably you started off just with mobile, and when I went down, I saw that you also do web as well, web development. You use React and stuff like that. All right, so I've got lots of things to say, lots of things to uncover here. Well, first off, as I usually do it, I'd love you to introduce yourself to the people, let the audience learn about you.
Okay, so I'm Omatsola Sunday. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a software developer. I build web and mobile apps. And also I'm a blockchain enthusiast. I've been learning a lot about blockchain recently.
That's really great, man. So, lots of things to uncover today. And so, you've been doing mobile development for how long?
Yeah, about 4 years now.
4 years. I checked your LinkedIn profile as I did say, it was mobile. I was like, you were passionate about mobile development, because some people, they start off with web development, some people, not everyone in the ways. And then they go on
Yeah,
from there, and then probably they go on to mobile development or something else. And some people, they just jump right, they just start with mobile, right? And
yeah.
stuff like that, But yeah, you do web development as well. How many years did you do web development before? I mean,
Okay,
I mean, right now. Okay,
yeah.
yeah. What was that?
Yeah,
How many
yeah.
years?
Yeah, I've been in web development for quite some time now, maybe more than 5 years now. I've been in web development. Yeah, I started out as a WordPress, developing WordPress sites
Oh
for
yeah,
brands. Over time, I move on to HTML and CSS, and then
yeah.
before JavaScript frameworks became very popular, then I went into React also. So, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, let's talk about some things. I want to know. So, can you give me a brief overview of the main technologies you use for mobile development?
Okay, majorly I use React Native
Oh,
because
okay.
enables me to build cross-platform apps for both iOS and Android. And I also use Expo, which is a development framework for React Native, which makes building React Native apps very easy. And I also use TypeScript, with my JavaScript that I use for React Native. So that's it.
Oh yeah. So here's gonna be a follow-up question to that, because come to think on it, there is a lot of things to consider in actually picking, a set of technologies to work with,
Yeah,
different standpoints, different ways to look at things, right? Because there is native applications, there is
yeah,
hybrid
yeah,
applications, there is, progressive web apps,
yeah,
PWAs,
yeah,
and lots of things to consider. You think about metrics like speed, you think
yeah,
about UI, UX,
yeah,
you think about performance, you know,
yeah,
you think about lots of things, in considering, what's good to use, and stuff like that. And even when you actually want to decide, you know what, we're gonna go with this technology or these technologies, like a stack of technologies, there's lots of ways that could come around. Probably you might be a software developer working for a company, you get a full-time job or not,
yeah,
but you're actually
yeah,
working for a company. So there is a way you're gonna reason. It's gonna be totally different from if you were to be a freelancer on your own, dealing with clients on your
yeah,
terms. You're gonna think differently, right? To choosing, you know what, I'm gonna work with this stack. If you
yeah,
were having a full-time job, you probably have an engineering team, a team lead and stuff like that, or probably you might be the team lead. But even though
yeah,
you are, considerations, the way you would consider things would be a lot more different from a wider perspective than if you were a freelancer.
yeah.
And also, you could be a businessman, and stuff like that. Well, the business side, making decisions in that area could be a lot more easier. But, when you think about all of these things, I do want to get into the nitty gritties, and get really into technicalities and stuff like that, delve in. We've got React Native, we've got Flutter. So, let's talk about what makes React Native a standout framework for building user-friendly and scalable mobile applications. You know,
Okay, what makes React stand out? It's cross-platform. So unlike native development that you have to build for iOS and then build for Android also. Well, yeah, React Native is like cross-platform. Also, it has features like hot reloading for you to like be able to see changes that you make to your while in development like immediately. And also, it has a reusable components. The concept of components from React, move into React Native. And one thing that makes it stand out and even makes it better than even other cross-platform frameworks is that it's backed by Facebook, and Facebook has a large community of users, and so React Native community is very large, like also just like the way the React community is. So that's what makes it stand out majorly.
yeah. Did you actually know that? Of course, you probably know it. React Native was birthed from a Facebook hackathon.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was quite interesting when I learned about that. It was just, think about that. Lots of beautiful things could just come from a hackathon. Of course, yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
you know. So, yeah, that's really good. So, I've got another question for you.
Okay.
How do you feel React Native compares to, let's say, other mobile frameworks like Flutter, to be specific, or even other traditional native development technologies as well, comparing, because way back in the day, um, there's a lot of different ways to, look into this. You want to build a mobile application way back in the day, it was purely native. It's
Yeah.
either, hi, is it gonna be for Android OS or iOS? So then we also have a cross-platform development and stuff like that. So how do you feel React Native compares, to other mobile frameworks?
Okay, looking at it from native development, like I said earlier, so we are able to build cross-platform apps using React Native, and we'll be able to maintain just and manage one code base, which is cost-effective, which is also better. And also looking at it from the angle of like Flutter, React Native is easy. There's an advantage in using React Native because as a web developer, you can just pick up React Native using the same JavaScript language that you use for web development. So that's like an advantage that's over Flutter.
Okay. All right, that's good. That's good. I mean, here's something. Now this is no part of the questions I actually prepared, but just off of that, thinking
Okay.
about it, like for instance, I'm gonna use a simple use case here. Airbnb,
Yeah.
when they started out, I think they actually, you might want to check the data, but they actually probably started with, a technology that could help them, build for both Android and iOS, cross-platform.
Oh,
Probably React Native, I think so,
yeah.
but we might
And
want
they
to
use
cross check the data.
yeah, they use
Yeah.
React Native. Yeah.
All right. So you see, they actually did that, but later on down the line, they having they wanted to scale it even further, and then they decided to invest more into building natively for each of the OS.
Yeah.
And I was checking out their research, and it was like they were like, we had to do this, we had to do this and stuff like that. So I want to ask you something based on that. How do you see that, actually building, probably using React Native, you could actually do that. And then afterwards, you go back and you do native development. Or what do you think about that?
Okay, yeah. So I feel like the ultimate goal is to serve the users well. And if Airbnb switched from React Native into native development, I believe there will be some reasons why. And back in days, or I would say back in time, React Native was not so advanced, like to be able to handle some kind of heavy lifting and all that. But with recent updates, I feel like there will be no need for someone switching unless I don't know, maybe depending on the developer or the goal of the products being built. But yeah, so React Native has made a lot of great updates that
Yeah.
will enable us to be able to build great apps with that can serve any amount of users.
All right. Okay, that's good. All right, so now let's talk about some common challenges you face when building high performance mobile apps and how you approach solving them.
Okay, not much challenge, but stuff like performance optimization, mostly when dealing with stuff like animation. So, and
Okay.
when it comes to that, like, the way I will handle such is to use like okay, I don't want to get too technical now. I would have said use memo or something that is in there, but there's a way we will optimize the performance of the app so that we can have like smooth animation, smooth loading, and all that. So, and also another issue, one major issue that any developer will have to deal with is like managing network requests, the amount of network requests you make, the load time, and all that, so that when the users don't have good network service, the app can also perform well. So because slow network requests, so slow network always affect performance. But yeah, so we'll handle stuff like that with caching. So when we fetch data from the servers, we can catch them. So we don't have to fetch them all the time if there's no new update or changes to it. So like that, we can improve the performance by catching. So manage a slow network and all that.
All right, that's good. Here's a question for you. Have you experienced any kind of predominant bugs from React Native, the technology itself? Like this kind of bug, it's not about you fixing, you're the engineer fixing, but React Native and the community behind it fixing it. That limited your performance or limited you in some way, and then you had to go through another route, so probably implementing some kind of features and stuff like that.
Not
Oh, it's
really.
been great.
Yeah, it's been great so far. Though React Native also provides the ability for us to edit the native code. Like I can work on Swift code for iOS version, even inside React Native, and I can touch the Kotlin or Java code for Android. So if there's a particular issue that's maybe I need to escalate it, I can easily go to the Java or Swift code and make some adjustment there. So that makes it like great.
All right, that's cool. So we're gonna get into something really beautiful right now, but let's just take a step backwards just a little bit. We're gonna come forwards again,
Okay.
and I want you to tell us about your journey, how you started, what inspired you, how you transitioned, and probably how you got your first job and something like that. Not too long, just a brief story to, give some of our viewers and give the audience something to go home with. Someone might be out there aspiring to become a mobile developer. I want to be there. I want to go into another range or talk about something because I've got lots of beautiful things coming to my mind right now to talk about, but just give us your story.
Okay. normally my journey was not. I didn't really wanted to do web development from the start.
Oh
But
yeah.
I had interest. Yeah, I had interest in mobile development. So I was looking for like an easy route since I already started with React. So like, how can I go into mobile development and build apps? So when I started using React and I saw that it's so easy to transition into React Native from a React standpoint, and it's almost similar things. The state component props, almost everything that we have in React, what you also have in React Native. So I made that switch, and it was not a very easy decision for me because like everybody knows me as a web developer, but coming out all of a sudden to say, okay, I'm building web mobile apps and having to start in React Native as a beginner, yeah, as a beginner. So that was very challenging. But over time, I started building products. I started building like demo products by myself, trying out different stuffs and trying to grow in it. And along the line, I was able to land first a freelance gig. And when I was able to prove to the people I was building the app for that I'm able to build mobile apps, from there I started getting more gigs over time.
Wow. Okay, right now, do you freelance or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
mix it with a full-time job or part-time or
yeah, yeah,
something like that?
yeah. I mix it. Yeah, I mix it.
All right. So, in one word, how would you say the transition from web development to mobile development was?
Challenging,
Oh
challenging.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right, all right. That's good. I mean, you were already doing React, yes, right?
yeah,
So, I
yeah. Well,
mean,
there's also like a lot of things to learn in React
that's
Native
right.
also, because you're not dealing with divs and divs and those paragraphs and the rest. Now you're dealing with view
Yeah,
and it's a whole different environment.
yeah, yeah. All right, that's great. So now let's talk about where you see the biggest opportunities for mobile developers in the future, especially with frameworks like, React Native. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Okay, opportunities for mobile developers in the future. Okay, first I know there's going to be an increased demand for cross-platform mobile developers because I feel with recent updates and upcoming updates also, cross-platform frameworks like React Native will be preferable to native development. So I see there's going to be an increase in demand for cross-platform developers, mobile developers, and also in the aspect of blockchain, I feel there's going to be like building a decentralized app. Like there's going to be an explosion of on that aspect also. So there will begin to be opportunities there for mobile developers. Yeah,
All right. So, okay, that's really good. A lot of people watching this right now could be aspirants, someone who wants to go into mobile developments. Some might be,
yeah,
beginners or intermediate, or senior developers as well, because a lot of people watch the show and it's
yeah,
getting to a lot more people. So, I mean, questions like these are really good because then they give the people so much information, and depending on where someone is at, they could have just the right insights to moving forward from there, you know. So let's talk about AI in mobile development. I mean, if we don't talk about AI in today's day and age, we just should talk about it. So
yeah.
let's talk about it. What aspects of AI excites you? Or now I'm asking about a couple of aspects. If it's just one, great, but I want to know all the aspects. Or you could just tell me about a few aspects that actually excites you the most in terms of its potential for mobile app development.
Okay. Though AI in mobile development, like the aspect that excites me the most is about personalization and predictive analysis. Like when it comes to personalization, like AI being able to personalize an experience for you, and based on reading your own previous data and learning from you, like stuff like that. So that's one, and I feel like we have not seen the all the full potential of it yet. like personalized shopping experience, like so apps like that. So that like AI able to read what you want, know what you need, know you, like understand you, the read the users better. So I feel that's one really exciting area that's like in AI.
All right. So do you think AI integration will become more common in mobile apps? What kind of AI powered features do you think would enhance the mobile user experience beyond the ones you've already talked about?
Yes, AI integration will become more common in mobile apps, and also another um, AI powered feature that will enhance mobile user experience will be like task automation, like my AI knowing what I want, like my my device knowing what I want and able to automate certain things for me, and not me having to do everything manually by myself. I think such there's such advancements in, I think, the latest iPhone, or also there's AI powered phones, so stuff like that.
So, I mean, as you continue learning about AI, do you have a specific integration you're thinking about right now to add to a future project that you just think it's fascinating, and you'd love to integrate that feature into a future project of yours? I mean, as an engineer, and you have a full-time job and you freelance as well. So I do not know if you have currently, any projects you're working on, or that might just be a future project, right? So is there something about AI, having learned about a couple of things, when it comes to AI? So I just want to know if there are specific skills or tools you're planning to explore and possibly integrate into future projects.
Okay, I've not really explored any specific tool I might want to use in a future project. Though I also love to like go into like training AI models myself. Like so it's something I would like
Oh yeah,
to go in. Yeah.
yeah. So how do you see blockchain, the blockchain technology actually impacting mobile app development?
Okay, I think we're already seeing that happening, like the rapid use of blockchain technology in mobile development, and we're still going to see more of it. And also, I had a meeting, I think, so a week or 2 weeks back with a company that they were talking about a decentralized phone. Like it's something new that, like, so every system on the phone, your data and all will be decentralized. Decentralized server. So like a decentralized phone. I think that their name is Bit Mobile also. So there's like a lot of exciting things that will happen from blockchain technology in mobile app, and not just mobile app development also. So that will inculcate into our everyday life. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean that was good. Thank you for that. All right,
Yeah.
so how do you envision the intersection of Web3 and mobile development, evolving in the coming years?
Okay, first I will say that we will see more fintech products becoming decentralized, more fintech apps like our banking systems and the rest. And also another thing is blockchain technology is going to be accepted widely. Like that's something I look forward to. Mostly in some countries, like my country here, Nigeria, blockchain technology is not yet fully accepted, and I don't know why exactly, but yeah. So that's something we're going to be seeing happening over time.
Now, lots of people are watching this. We've got developers watching this, and developers, engineers are different categories, and even people who aren't developers or engineers, we've got them at different levels, right? People might be thinking about transitioning into tech. Lots of people watching right now, so it's quite an audience. So, what advice would you give to developers looking to explore fields like blockchain, Web3, or AI while balancing productivity as a developer? And then probably you could also share some insights in a way to give some, you know, overview based on what you're going to answer to developers, and then you're going to give another overview to people who aren't developers.
Okay. Advice for developers looking to explore feedback. Okay. I would say just explore, learn, and build stuff because our careers are always progressive. So after learning something and you are comfortable with it, you can move on to learn something else while still working on that. So I believe no area will be lacking behind for another area to progress. Like, so I'm a web developer and then I move on to mobile. So I can still do web development. So that area will not be lacking behind. So there's that balance there. Okay, so for people that are not yet okay, people that are not yet in tech that are looking to explore fields like blockchain or web3. It's I think I would say it's the best time to do that now. Like it's never too late, but this the right time to go into it is now, like right now, because there will be an explosion of this stuff in the future, in times to come. We've not yet seen the full potential of these technologies yet, and we will be seeing them over time. Yeah.
So, do you have any specific platforms, any roadmaps out there, that would actually help people define their paths and probably put them in this position where they can see their future from right now if they were to go down this path?
Okay, not the direct roadmap, but I would say like try to get a course, join the community, and start building stuff the moment you get comfortable with whatever technology you choose to learn, and also like attend events and stuff like that.
All right, that was great. So that was really good. What's one emerging trend in mobile development that, gives you so much joy? And tell me why.
Um, okay, I would say this AR and VR apps, augmented reality,
Hmm.
like putting that into mobile apps, is something I've even been doing some research on that recently, and there's no so much in it yet, but I think over time we'll get to see that in augmented reality and virtual reality in mobile apps.
All right. So we've actually come to the end of this discussion, but just before we say goodbye to our audience, and um, I want to know if you've got any advice or encouragement for developers wanting to dive into mobile development, especially those interested in AI and or blockchain, or I mean, even just mobile development as a whole. That's large, right? Do you have any, word of advice or encouragement, that someone is just gonna take with them?
Okay. First, know your why. The reason why you want to. Okay. Now, because these technologies are not majorly about themselves, but to solve problems. So, what problems can I solve with this? You should know that first. Then, when you know how you want to do that, then what tool do I use or what technology can I use to solve that particular problem? Then that's when you can start thinking of what if I should go for React Native or Flutter or something else. So yeah, just know the why, the reason why you want to learn and start learning and just go into it and build stuff. Yeah.
If you were to start over now, this just came up, okay, an additional one. If you were to start over, would you still start off with React Native or would you go through some other route?
Yeah, I would say I would still start off with React Native because mobile development is a whole world on its own. So after learning React Native, I can still see how I can learn Flutter. I can still go into other tools because I'll definitely see come across some, maybe because I freelance, I'll come across some client that wants me to use maybe another technology, and also I'll need to go into that. So I think reality is a good standpoint, being that it's very close to web development, and most people that come into tech start from web development. Like it's just like an easy entry into the tech space. So like I will still start from React Native, yeah, going forward.
All right. It's been a really wonderful time, we've spent here today, talking about lots of things concerning mobile development, specifically React Native. And yeah, we talked about blockchain, a bit about that, a bit about Web3, a bit about AI, and stuff like that. I mean, we've had such an amazing time here. I do want to say thank you, Sunday, for spending your time with us today. And of
Thank
course,
you for having me.
yeah, share love in the comments and say thank you to Sunday. Well, here's something I ask my guests that come on the channel, come on the podcast. Here's an interesting question. Are you subscribed to my channels?
Yeah, yes, I am.
All of them?
Okay, I'll check the rest, but
Oh
I think
yeah,
I saw.
because yeah, I usually would actually send them their message, before the actual recording date. So okay, yeah, but I think you're subscribed to a few, but you go check them out again because actually I
Yeah.
do have another one. Yeah, in the audience, guys, you need to know this as well. So Sunday, I do have another one. Like I've got my personal channel, of course. I've got the podcast channel, but then I created another channel called the Joshua Chris Podcast Clips channel. So little parts, I could extract from the, full length podcast and just put them on there. So, someone could get a little bit a snippet of information from a full length podcast pertaining
Okay.
to, specific topics, whether it's AI, because right now we're talking about lots of things, right? But I could just pick out a segment, and just put on there. So yeah, you guys should go subscribe to it. The link is gonna be somewhere around, or check the description below. All right.
Yeah.
Could you tell the people Sunday to go ahead and like and subscribe? That'd be
Okay, like and subscribe to his channel. Yeah, it's very informative and very good for your development journey. Or even if you are going coming new to tech, like yeah, this is a great place to start. Like you'll be able to know what paths to follow and all that.
all right. You heard Sunday. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, Sunday. I totally appreciate your time and to
Thank
have
you.
a beautiful rest of your day. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
All right. Thank you.